that in for a minute. Music is a doorway, right? It's a doorway that opens us up to a different place of consciousness, that opens us up to receiving. It's the beauty of music. When I think of opening, I think of doorways, right? I open and shut doors all the time. How about you? In fact, I was so taken by this idea of doorways that I decided to count yesterday. So some people probably thought maybe I was a little like Rain Man, right? I counted every door that I opened and shut. And I came up with about 30 doors that I opened and closed and walked through yesterday. Just in one day, that many doorways that I opened and walked through. One of the things that made me really ponder this idea of doorways and really struck me was Jane and I recently watched a movie about Temple Grandin. So Temple Grandin is a brilliant woman who changed the way that cattle are treated when they are taken to slaughter. And the interesting thing about her was she was autistic. And so there were a lot of things that were very difficult for Temple. And one of the things that was difficult for her were doors. She had a hard time when she would see a door she didn't recognize. She would have a hard time walking through it. And she had a very difficult time with transitions, which actually is what made her so brilliant when it came to changing the way cattle are treated. When she transitioned from high school to college, terrified. She was absolutely terrified. And her teacher said to her, every time you see a door, I want you to imagine that this is Temple's door to a new world. And so throughout the movie, you saw a series of doorways. And you would hear Temple say to herself, this is a door to a new world. This is my door to a new world. And when she was asked later about how she was able to be so successful, even with the limitations of autism, she said quite simply, a door opened and I walked through it. A door opened and I walked through it. How many times do you think about opening the doorway to your soul? Opening the doorway of your heart so that you experience something differently. Doors are full of all kinds of symbolism throughout history, throughout culture. They've had all kinds of meanings. One of those meanings is as an entrance into sacredness, an entrance into holiness. Our co-founder Charles Fillmore, in The Revealing Word, wrote, the door of our mind is the I am. I am the door of the sheep. John 10:7. The sheep are our thoughts. The only door through which the divine essence can come to us is through our own I am. The only way that we can experience divine presence is by entering into the doorway of our hearts, entering into that sacred space. When we are willing to open up our hearts, to open up our minds to the presence that is always there, our minds are renewed and our lives are transformed. When we become the doorway through which the I am expresses, we bring peace, joy, and love to others. Because we, in every moment, have the opportunity to walk as the I am presence in this world. So doorways are about entrances. Doorways are also about transitions. Oftentimes, if you dream about a door, Dream analysis will tell you that you're dreaming about a door because your life is getting ready to transition. You're getting ready to move into a different place. So in that way, Lent is kind of like a doorway, right? We are in this wilderness. We are in this period of transition where we are examining our lives. We are deciding what we are going to fast from and what we are going to feast on. So we were walking in this doorway of transition into, hopefully, a different consciousness. One that is more renewed and more transformed than the one before. So when we think of the doorway as a transition, I think about one of the things that we often hear in unity is that the silence is the doorway to the I am. Unity's fourth principle teaches us that prayer and meditation are the tools that we use to connect consciously to the source of all that is. That's because prayer and meditation are transitions, right? They're taking that focus from out here and transitioning to a focus in here. It's a passageway, a way for us to walk from worrying about circumstances to centering in the truth of our I am presence. A doorway into the silence, an opening. We read about doors in Matthew. Matthew 7:7. Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives. And to the one who knocks, the door will be opened. To everyone who knocks, the door will be opened. The doorway to Source is always open. And Source is always waiting for us to knock and to enter in. In this time of Lent, as you fast from all of those beliefs and all of those thinking, all that thinking that drags you down, may you be uplifted by opening your heart to an awareness of Source. To taking that focus from the outside to the inside and moving within yourself so that you can hear that still small voice, so you can hear the awareness of God's presence within you. So we're going to practice that right now. We're going to practice opening up to Spirit. And before we do that, I want to share with you, I've forgotten about this, I wanted to share with you that when we open up to Spirit, when we open up to the divine presence, that our lives are transformed. We are filled with light. We are filled with life. In this way, we are renewed. And when I was in Florida, I heard this beautiful poem by the philosopher Hafez. And I've been reading that like every couple of days because it really spoke to me, and I want to share that with you. Light will someday split you open, even if your life is now a cage. For a divine seed, the crown of destiny, is hidden and sown on ancient fertile plain that you hold the title to. Love will surely burst you wide open into an unfettered, blooming new galaxy. A life-giving radiance will come. Oh, look again within yourself. For I know you were once an elegant host to all of the marvels of creation. From a sacred crevice in your body, a bow rises each night and shoots your soul into God. Behold the beautiful one from the vantage point of love. That one is conducting the affairs of the whole universe in a treehouse, on a limb in your heart. Divine presence is always as close to us as our breath. We only have to be open to receive. So we're going to practice that right now with a technique that I learned from Steve McAfee. Any of you that have not taken a class with him, he's just awesome. He's brilliant. And he is also one of my teachers, though he tells me I teach him as well. So he taught us this practice that probably Jesus used, maybe while he was out wandering in the desert for 40 days. It's called the breath of Yahweh. So Yahweh is the ancient Hebrew name for God. And so you breathe in the Yah, Yah, and you breathe out the way. Let's do that a couple more times. I'm going to invite you to close your eyes. One of the things that Stephen invited us to do is bend over just a little bit. So just kind of hunch yourself down, make yourself real closed. And as you breathe in the Yah, raise up. Put your shoulders back. And as you say, way, walk forward just a little. Just a couple of more breaths. One more breath. Lower your gaze to the floor. Close your eyes and feel the opening in your body as you breathe the name of God, Yahweh. Yahweh. And allow yourself to become still as we move into the silence, opening our hearts, opening